So I'm just gonna record this video and talk and see how it goes. I'm not looking for issues. I'm not looking for drama, but I'm also not gonna be little sis in my own space. Yesterday morning, a PSA was posted on an account. I had replied in support of that person because I had not read through the documentation. I had only seen two names that I had associated with negatively and were like, okay, I've had my experience. I feel offended by them. I support them because I know my personal experience. The reason why I said I did not read properly through that document is because I was on mobile. Now on mobile, it does not show up that there were sections of that document that had each individual purpose said and done. Granted, I could have made my comment a little bit more specific on what I was referring to, but I then understood afterwards, and I'll get into that. However, after that comment was made, the person who made the doc responded, and then I responded back about knowing the situation because I did know about a situation from one former person mentioned on that list. They know who they are. After that, I left. I was on YouTube or I was scrolling everywhere else for about an hour when I came back and there were 55 comments on that PSA. Granted, none of the comments were directed to me. So all I did was tap and scroll and read. While reading it, I was seeing that this person who made this PSA was getting attacked. Do I believe they were warranted this response? Absolutely not. Do I feel like low-key it could be justified? Absolutely. It could have just been done differently. It could have been done with what was told in those comments, that evidence would be provided. Evidence should have been provided and not the response that was given. Granted, no one is wrong for responding the way they respond, but after that, your insults are seen as immature and childish, and then from then, when you said what you were going to do, you should have paused it right there, stopped back and forthing, and then said what you were going to do and be done with it. After that, I was reading a specific comment made by somebody who I formerly associated with. Underneath it was somebody who had wronged me in my past. They had a companion call me a nigga. Now, this person was in support of them the whole time, including harassing me when I made a YouTube video that I don't know who remembers it, but I used to go by X Shy, and I made this video. I remember the thumbnail so clearly. It was a picture of Angel, Jenna, Rita, and Dixie standing on a scene, and I had told what was happening. And I had made a video. I specifically remember a few people, especially big names in the community, commenting on it. And then I got harassed after that. Now, I brought this up because I said to them, I replied specifically and only to them, that their comment was weird after supporting this person by insulting me and calling me a slur. Now, after that, they brought up the fact that I was a supposed cousin fucker, which blows me completely because I had no idea what the fuck they were talking about. I proceeded to then not want to make that conversation about me. So I went to my community post and I made a comment, adding them directly. Some people might have saw. I told them that that was my rapist. I was sexually assaulted by that person that they called my cousin. And when I explained to them is, I am Black, I am African American. In our community, we do not call cousins by the family version that people associate a cousin with. We call cousins strangers, people we've never met before, friends, best friends. This person that they called my cousin was my mom's best friend's son. they would call us cousins, and we would associate from there. Mind you, what this person that called me out refused to add was that I had also mentioned it being weird. But they never added that. My comment to them was seen as a gotcha moment. They proceeded to then validate that this slur that was called to me was because they were 11 years old. This person, this friend that they supported, was 11 years old, so that meant it was valid. If they were 11 years old, they are currently 21, and I'm 24. Hold on, I need a minute because I'm stressed real quick. I was 13, depending on the years, depending on the gap in the years. I was 13. I'm trying to think, because I could also have been 12. It's a little too... My math is not great. I'm not even going to pretend my math is great right now, because my emotional state is not great. Regardless, if you're 11 years old and know a slur and know the appropriate context to use it in, you are not a child that does not know what they're doing. You are a child that, in fact, does know what they're doing. They proceed to then validate and say, oh, well, you know, they pick up what they see and hear. Okay, that's great. There are people who have experienced racism, but you don't see me being racist to every person that has done me wrong. You don't see anybody else besides the attacker doing so. Now, granted, I continue to admit the fact that they apologized to me on Instagram one day. They apologized so half-assed and was like, oh, blah, 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 it was silly. I could probably pull up the messages from before and find it myself. It was seen as a apology that was only given because they were no longer talking to that said person. Or whatever it was. So, because I had mentioned this, they were like, then what are you even bickering for? It's not an issue. But it is an issue. Because it should have never happened in the first place. Mind you, the only reason why it was said to me was we were arguing over something. I don't even remember the argument. But my retaliation, of course, to being called this slur was, that's why your dog died. Now, my thing is this. You call me a slur, I'm going to take that shit to hell. I'm a very understanding and friendly person who pours her heart out for her friends and companions. Do not fuck with me. Is I always tell people. I always say I'm great, I'm fantastic. Like, I have went to therapy. I've found healing. I have done the redemption. But that anger that I feel for the shit that I've let happen is still sitting here. No amount of medication has put that anger away. Now, in light of other situations, the situation returning back to this PSA. One of the people that were a part of the PSA made a video. There was a comment specifically that was very weird that I had made a response to. I would have never commented on that video. Never. Until I saw that comment. And I can provide a link in the description when I get everything together about this comment. This comment making a weird thing about this person having more screenshots taking up their computer than the child pornography of 12-year-olds. That is alone in itself is weird. And I commented, you don't think that's weird? And then I also added that they were using AAVE incorrectly. Now, a lot of people in this community use AAVE without knowing what the fuck AAVE is or even caring what it is. I don't say anything. But if you're going to make a speech, please use your own dialect correctly, because you're going to use it wrong. And then I even said and pointed out that the person in this video was making a lot of indications that were seeming very guilty. Mind you, I've told everyone I've been in this community for a long time. I also study facial expressions and body language extremely well. It was obvious in some points of the situation going on that this person was hiding something. I don't care how you take it. I don't care how you feel about it. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat that the fact that they were also guilty. Moving on. After I said that this person commented something else, I didn't get to read that comment because then I was sent a voice note from my DMs from this person. I was sent a voice note and then I was sent a paragraph. I went to respond via voice note back. Before I can respond via voice note, I was then called. For 44 minutes, I stood on the phone with this person. 44 minutes. I was called a fool for not having information that should have been given without a problem. I had asked them for information that wasn't given, besides a small snippet of screenshots. I was so stressed last night, I didn't respond to everything. I was silent for that phone call for most of the time. But I got in my words and I told them certain stuff that they should have done instead. They told me they didn't want to go back and forth. That this was immature to go, like they're 21 years old, to go back and forth would be weird. Going back and forth sending documents is weird, but going under a comment section of said documentation proof and calling this person insane and mentally ill and a weirdo isn't. Granted, all of those stuff can be true, but you don't think that's even weirder. You can be pissed, but you can also come out with the evidence that you are not guilty. Not only that, I just find it so intensely weird. I don't know what to say. Because this is going to ruffle so many feathers. This community is so fucking hypocritical. I have watched weirdos in this community be weird, get called out, yelled at, shout out, excluded, and then come back or take a break and they send an apology and it's, oh yeah, I've watched your growth, you're good, you're great, welcome back, it's happy to have you. That should not be how it works, because if it was somebody you did not like, you would not accept them there. And I find it extremely weird to be somebody who's apologizing for hurting somebody or causing harm to somebody, and then being under those same people causing harm via video and being hype about a creation of drama and excitement to be feral and jump on somebody instead of proving yourself innocent. This might show whatever they would want you guys want to feel about it. It might claim I'm biased. This might be, oh, she's in support of this, that, and the third. I'm not in support of nobody in this community. I don't give a fuck about nobody in this community. That's going to hurt a lot of people, but I need to say it. This community has created so many trust issues. Everybody can be swayed by a singular sentence or experience, and then nobody cares. You can be thrown to the curb until you come back ass kissing every ground that people walk on. And please don't come at me talking about that's not true, but it is. Because I've seen it myself. That's how people got, not quote unquote groomed, but that's how behaviors had to become calmer. I never had anxiety until I started getting in confrontation. Granted, yes, half of those confrontations were uncalled for, but most of those conversations that I've had, and I still have the screenshots, were conversations of misinterpretation of race, things I wasn't unsure of other race, things that pertained of companion that I thought was my friend who would call for help in private places and then proceed to play devil's advocate in the face of the person that I was having a confrontation with. So many things are ran weirdly in this community. And now this might not make any sense because I'm just recording it. No script, no nothing. This is just pure emotion and pure talking. If this hurts feelings, I don't care. I'm really, I'm going to say it straight up. I don't have a bias. I don't feel nothing because everybody is a weirdo. And yes, that includes me. But a list of the things that I've done versus the list that I've seen of other people, that I've witnessed of other people, does not compare. The most you could go, oh, well, Rachel used to shit talk this person. Yeah, who didn't? Oh, well, Rachel did this, that, and the third. Yeah, I was hypersexual as a child. I said weird shit. It happens. People can justify it happening for somebody else. Why is it not justifiable for that one person? Me being racist to my own calling, talking about the situation that I mentioned of how my first confrontation was somebody posting a meme that I had the screenshot for, of a police brutality meme of them calling cops the bad guys. And I was like, isn't this racist to white people? That was my first ever mistake. Because I didn't know better. Because I made this conversation before in my community post that I was ignorant to my own culture. I did not know how bad it was for black people. Hell, I didn't even see how bad it was for in the community, how fucked up everybody was treating black people. There's a fucking screenshot of somebody bitch ass being triggered about hearing protest and being upset about it because it was they feel like that black people weren't treated that well. The people in the they don't. I have the screenshot. I'm not gonna even reiterate the words, but it pissed me off because it's fucked. Now, like I said, none of this didn't change for me until 2020. COVID was my game changer for everything. I disconnected friendships because I noticed I was being used as a dog. I was being used as a dog, and I'm still feeling used like I'm being used as a dog. Everyone, I guess because I'm the loudest in the community so far with saying shit, assumes that means that I'm the go-to to cause all this mayhem and shake shit up. But you know what? That's fine. But I don't appreciate being used, and I'm going to say that one time. This is my last time you got a guard dog in me. Everybody else need to figure this shit out for themselves. Stop hiding behind the people that you fear. Stop hiding behind the people. Stop being fucking cowards. I'm leaving the comment sections open. I don't give a shit how you... Say something. Say something. Talk about your experience. Stop hiding shit. You a victim? Say you're a victim. You a villain? Say you're a villain. This is the type of shit that pisses me off. Everybody's gonna see this video is like, what is bro yapping about? Oh, I'm not listening to all that, bro. And then your fucking dumbass is lying because you know damn well you're gonna sit here and listen to it. That's the same shit I saw yesterday. Everybody in that comment section talking about, I ain't reading all that, then proceeds to go back and forth, proving they in fact did read all of that. That's what I'm saying. The hypocrisy in here is outrageous. Everybody's talking about they healed, they got on there, like they went to therapy, this and that. If you had to therapy, you'd be pissed at the shit going on. You wouldn't be still in somebody's comment section attacking somebody because they made a post. Granted, yes, you can be pissed, but then you called me. You called me, instead of giving the evidence. I told you. I asked for the evidence. You sent me a screenshot of rambles, but nothing else. You gave me scrambles and that was it. You ain't give me no evidence. And still, you just left the video back up and you still ain't give no evidence to nobody. And it's like I told that person, and you know who you are. I'm not saying names because this is addressed to a broader people, and it's going to attract a bunch of people, and that's fine. Y'all like to talk about being old and grown and everything, but I'm not seeing the improvement. All that behavior I saw yesterday was the same shit I was seeing a few years ago. Ain't nothing changed but the day. It's all the same shit. I read that, I came back to that comment section, and all I saw was nostalgia. Nostalgia for fucked up shit. Nostalgia for watching somebody have a different opinion that somebody disagreed with and then getting dogpiled. And then people liking the comments talking about, yes, I agree with this opinion. The same shit. And still no evidence provided. There's a pinned comment there that I agree with completely. I'm not saying I agree with the person and support the person. But there's a pinned comment in that section that hopefully is still pinned that I do agree with. Because it's true. It's sickening. And it's weird behavior. Calling me, that's what I said you caught me on a decent day there. That's why I was so silent. I was reading the doc, but I was silent because I knew I didn't have the words to say, because I said my words in my voice note. And somebody put a great point that you probably just called me to avoid having no evidence of a conversation. And I think that's interesting. That shit is interesting. I'm not calling out names like I said, but I am tired. I'm tired of somebody lying on me. I'm tired of the fake ass friendships I'm seeing. I'm loving seeing somebody who yelled at me, talked shit with me, and is now running besties with the person they talked shit with. And you know what? There was a comment that stuck out to me in that PSA post. They said, watch the person who has friends and who doesn't have friends. Now, this isn't always true all the time. But the people who don't have friends are the people that stepped away from groups that they know would cause them hell for the rest of their life. That shit happened to me. I stepped away from everybody, and I just kept watching the weird shit occur. I kept taking notes. I kept watching. And I peeped it. And it's just crazy to me. Anyways, this was probably going to be somebody's big old nothing burger. So I have nothing more to say. If you would like to discuss more in the comments or go off, don't DM me. Don't DM me on Discord. Be bold in the comment sections like you was bold before. Don't call me. Don't nothing. As far as this statement goes, I'm going to end it with this. I am not friends with nobody in this community. I'm not allies with nobody in this community. You do not have an ally in me, and that's fine. I can be acquaintances with anyone who wants to stay being acquaintances with me. But I am not friends with anybody but one person. Do not seek friendship with me. Do not seek companionship in me. Because I'm fucking done with all of the bullshit that's going on and the fake shit. There is no trust in this place at all. You can't trust nobody. Nobody anymore. Goodbye.